Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux. We should have like a theme for this show. We don't have a
Sure,
theme.
make
Go
one.
commission one. Like seriously, go pay somebody some high dollar.
What the hell do we get donations for?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we do get those. Generally speaking, they do go towards like paying for shit for this. Bought me a
This
new
is shit
microphone
for
and such.
this.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay. So the thing we rolled this week was Quanzhi Fashi, which is Chinese anime.
Mm-hmm.
Please, no one quibble about the terminology, either in the show or in the comments. I don't care. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
is an anime? Can a Chinese show be an anime? Who
Why would I
cares?
care? Why would I care? I
Yeah.
don't.
So, yeah, it's an anime.
So
Shut up.
It's a
So,
show. We're watching it.
yeah,
so main character basically just for the premise of this, he has this like amulet thing around his neck and he fell asleep behind a mountain or something. And next thing you know, his world of science turns into a world of magic, essentially.
yeah. That's
So I
you know,
watched two. Sorry.
as a broad premise, that's actually not bad. Just like
Yeah.
everything's basically the same, but it's all magic instead of science and engineering. So they actually play it pretty straight. Like all of the guy's knowledge in science and engineering basically useless now. And he has no knowledge of magic. So he's kind of screwed.
Yeah. And especially because like he needs to go through school so he can get money and become a good magician so he can help his family out because his family's pretty poor. uh, Unfortunately that's going to be really difficult because he doesn't know he knows only about 3 months worth of studying for magic, whereas everybody has 9 years of experience.
Mm, yeah, so he's kind of screwed. And I appreciated that they actually played it as straight as they did. They didn't just say, "Oh, okay, you get everything's magic instead of science," but hey, we're going to give you a knowledge dump, like a lot of shows of this particular ilk do. They
Yeah.
just made him the same dude as he always was, so he's just kind of a scrub now.
This is like a very, very slight isekai style story where he's not technically going into another world, but it's kind of like a parallel world, I
Yeah,
guess, where
like
pretty much the same things happened except
yeah,
for magic.
all of his histories are the same. It's just magic now.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I'm
so
surprised that
he,
I find such a simple change more interesting than the more esoteric ones that you usually get.
yeah, I like it as far as premises go. Uh, so, start of the show, he's trying to get through his final exam so he can get into the Magic High School. The Magic High School. I
The
don't think
only
there's many
one,
others.
apparently.
Apparently. Yeah. And
In a world where magic has replaced science and technology, there is one magic school.
It's not the only one.
Yeah, I know.
I know. It's just the way it's phrased in the show.
It's the way it was translated by the translator. By the way, I
Yeah.
hate the translator.
You know what? That's fair. So he obviously doesn't pass it, and he's getting taunted by his classmates because he's a big dumb scrub. How can he not know all this magical stuff?
Hmm.
And we find out that his father's like, oh, you can just be like like a delivery man. Like I know a guy next to you over. We get you started with a decent salary, and he's like, no, I don't want. I just want to be a magician. I want to be able to help you out and everything. So his
But
dad
I,
goes and begs an old friend of his to let
Friend,
his son in.
friend in quotes.
Friend in quotes, who divulges that apparently, like the daughter of the master of the area, or like basically Mofan, which is our protagonist, ran off with the Richie Rich dude's daughter, and
Because she
that is-
asked him to.
Yeah, because she asked him to, and so he's still upset about that. But he's like, "Hey, if you give me your house as a mortgage, I will see what I can do." It's kind of a really crappy deal, and I really don't like that guy.
Yeah,
Which is
it doesn't
intentional.
change.
Kind of the point.
His dad is just the sweetest guy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good guy, dad guy. He's a good guy. I like that
Yeah. Good guy, dad.
He's such
Doing
a
all
bro-
that just
He's a complete bro dad, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Mofan sees this exchange happening while he's walking with his friend, and they have dinner that night. And his dad's like, "Well, good news. I talked to a friend. He says, yeah, sure. He agreed immediately. You can get in there, and while you're in there, I'll just rent out the old house. Just I don't think anybody's going to be using it. I mean." Your sister's at the dorms of her place. You're going to be at your dorms, and I travel around a lot, so there's no point in really holding on to that empty house. And you can kind of see the dad trying to lie to cover it up so it doesn't feel bad, and it's really just a nice moment.
Yeah, and he doesn't say anything about it, like, doesn't let on that he knows what's really going on, but just kind of goes along with it and is excitable and such to keep his dad's spirits up and make it seem worth it. It's a good
Yeah.
moment. It's a sad moment. It's a good moment.
So then he gets into the school, and everybody's still like talking crap about him. It's like, oh yeah, he pulled some strings to get in here. Oh, he obviously didn't pass and get in normally. And it's just kind of like his dad kind of sold their house just so they could have a chance of getting into the school. And he's kind of got all these things against him, so it makes you pretty sympathetic to the character. There's a lot to do that.
Yeah, we've gone a lot into detailing how isekai shows can have problems, and a lot of it stems from making it too easy. Not really going for that in this, at least so far.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of the episode, we can debate, but for the intro,
Spoiler.
yeah. Anyway,
So they're doing
Hang
a
on,
test.
I kind of feel we need to explain something about magic.
we do what?
We do.
Well, see, everyone apparently awakens only a single element, but those elements were ranked by.
Literally,
We're
just
not
about to
there
talk
yet.
about that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So they go to do an awakening thing, and they each get a button passed out to them. It's like this little pin thing you got right here. That's going to change depending on your element, and it's going to have all these stars. Those stars are determining your affinity to that element, and yeah, basically.
And the elements are rated on a list of power and not based on any system of like this beats that, which makes more sense, but whatever. So
Don't-
basically,
don't
Light
this-
magic, light magic is apparently the weakest, and I call BS on that.
yeah.
Yeah, second weakest is water. After that is earth, then ice. Fire is the second rarest and strongest, and then lightning is the strongest and rarest.
Yeah. So
Every time somebody
basically,
mentions water magic,
basically, this scene is time to find out your social cast, maggots.
yeah, fire is really good. It's pretty rare, but lightning is even better, and that's more rare. And I feel like I don't know, like the whole way everything's organized. It's like water could be good though, because fire versus water. I mean, there's a kind of there should be a rock paper scissors system, but
There is
whatever. For the sake of the show, trying to do the whole cast thing, I guess the rankings are important in that way. I don't really agree with it, but whatever. So everybody goes, there's a cool guy who awakens to ice, and he's like, oh man, look at me, I'm so cool. I got my ice. You got all the other people awakening to all their elements, and then main character guy goes up, and he starts to awaken. He goes into sort of a universe type scene, and everybody else is like, hears somebody shouting from the outside, hey, a guy awakened to lightning element, oh my gosh. And everybody runs out of the room, leaving our protagonist there
Is Troll
alone.
2 going on in the other classroom? Oh.
Lightning power, man.
Okay, no one got
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
I
fine.
know. I got the reference. I got the reference.
What?
And then they're gonna eat me.
Oh my
okay.
god!
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. And so he's stuck there, and he's like, purple. What color is purple? Purple's a lightning element to the class outside, and they're looking at the other person in the next class, and he's still alone in the class. He's like, "What now? Red? Oh my god! I have purple and red, lightning and fire. I have double elements." And then he kind of like opens his eyes, like, "Where did everybody go? Did I slip into another world again? Is this gonna be happening?"
Zero.
Yeah.
You're slipping into the second episode.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I slipped a little bit into it.
Did you watch the
kind of-
second episode?
I watched the first minute or so, just because it ends super it ends with him just kind of looking at that orb.
Yep.
Yeah, that first episode is unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I just wanted to
I
find out
watched
what
this.
happened.
Yeah,
So,
I watched
yeah,
the second
it turns
episode.
it turns out he has dual elements of lightning and fire.
I
is,
can explain
thing.
what happens in the second episode if you guys want.
No.
So here's the thing: is that he has lightning and fire, so that in a one way that kind of increases the difficulty of him trying to master magic, because now he has two elements he has to worry about. On the other hand, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me with him getting the two of the most powerful things right off the bat.
Yeah, it's literally, hey, fire is the most powerful element. So, okay, this guy's gonna get fire then. Fair enough. And
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, but there's one that's even more powerful than that. That's what I heard from somebody. Oh, okay, so he's gonna get the one that's more powerful than that. Hey guys, there's this other guy in this other class, and he's got the lightning element. It's the only one in the entire school. Okay.
It's 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, so, alright, what... Well, how's he gonna have his stupid power-up that makes him better than everyone else by default, then? Oh, he's gonna have two elements, fair enough. There you go. And they're both the strongest ones? Oh, that makes sense. Cool. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
in the second episode, he notices that no one saw he had lightning. When they walked in, it was already turned to red. But they're almost as impressed that he's fire as they were about the lightning guy, because fire is still really, really rare. I mean, just because someone has lightning, that doesn't mean fire is any less rare and powerful. So
Then you get into the... See, this is something that I've seen a lot, where it's like, I'm actually more powerful than I appear, and I am hiding that from everyone. Ha! I will whip that out at one point, and everybody will be super impressed. And
that
it's
is
just...
literally exactly what he plans to do.
Yes, I know. And so that's something that happens a lot in a lot of series I've seen, and it tends to be like, I would rather see him be like, oh, I have the light element, that sucks. Let me find interesting ways to use this power. Like, I'd rather see somebody with the weakest than getting the strongest power off the bat. Right off the bat. And again, I do feel like a rock, paper, scissors system would make sense. And if we had two elements in a rock, paper, scissors system like that, then you could have him have an advantage, I guess. But
I think we've been watching Kaiji too much. Zero.
yeah, we have been watching Kaiji too much. Like, oh my gosh, so much rock, paper, scissors. It's all I'm thinking about now. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's okay.
yeah, I'm good.
Go watch Kaiji. It will teach you all about rock, paper, scissors.
No.
Wow, the nose on this guy.
Yeah, seriously though, better than it sounds. Rock, paper, scissors for 10 episodes, way better than it sounds. Anyway, so yeah, this show, is all right, I guess. For one of these, like the premise is good. The follow through,
It's generic.
It's very standard. Unfortunately, so. there was more promise in the premise. That didn't need to be said quite that way. That was real. But that, based on the premise, this could have been way better if they just implemented it in a more interesting way than, oh, he suddenly gets the best power-up possible and he's super great and everyone will love him from now on because he's super great.
Yeah, imagine if, like, his whole thing is that he still knows all the science and engineering from his world, and that's been replaced with magic in this world. So if he could somehow implement that science to make himself kind of more equal, I guess, rather than putting him far, far ahead, that'd be a much more interesting way to deliver on that.
Yeah. Instead, we just get, oh, you have superpowers, but you don't know how to use them. We've never seen that before. So, yeah, that was kind of disappointing. The animation was fine. It seemed a bit choppy to me. Like, the frame rate of the animation is just too low for it to, like, flow smoothly. It was kind of distracting.
Yeah. I wouldn't watch more of this show. If somebody has watched this show and it's surprisingly really good, comments, but I
actually,
have no...
the comments on the site are saying it's really good.
I've seen like
one of those hidden gems.
Yeah, kind of. It ramps up very quickly. They don't fuck around. The passing of time. I've seen like 8 episodes of this, by the way.
Dude, you've seen 8 episodes?
Yes. Why is that surprising? They're like 16 minutes long, minus the.
Yeah,
intro.
they're not that long. They're pretty digestible.
Sooner.
But yeah.
So it gets. You say it ramps up. Does that mean it gets better, or it gets like the plot gets more?
The plot gets more. I don't know how much to tell you.
You're not planning to watch it.
I'm kind of not. The audience might. I have no idea. I'm not them. But just generically tell us, does it get better and more interesting and compelling, or does it just kind of follow on with the standard power wank diatribe that we tend to get from shows like this?
The second one.
That's unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's subtle. It's kind of subtle because it doesn't really lead to anything. Like, life doesn't really get better for him, honestly. But he's, by episode 8, I'll just say he's recognized as the strongest person in his class.
Okay. So, yeah, this was fine. I talked about the music, but I didn't even notice the music, if there even was any. Which is usually a good thing, but
It had pretty good music to me. Which is funny because Rakshasa Street also had really good music.
There was no standout music for me that I noticed, so...
Okay. So, any final thoughts before we roll up anyone? Because I kind of want to take a nap because I have to be up in a couple of hours to move a fridge.
Why?
Because I got a new one, so I've got to throw the old one out, which means I basically have to put it outside of my house so it can get picked up tomorrow.
I was about to say, like, you weren't recruited for this, right? Like,
no, this is my fridge.
Okay.
Or was my fridge. I'm getting rid of it.
Very well done.
So any
I don't really
final
have
thoughts?
I don't really have anything to say. It's an anime. It's there. It's pretty stock standard, honestly, other than the fact that it's Chinese.
But is it an anime? Because you see, it's Chinese, and technically, the definition...
Well, if you really want to break it down, if you really look at the actual animation, who gives a shit? Let's go.
Yeah.
Move on.
It was actually this great... never mind.
So, 27?
Yeah, 22.
Yeah. You keep saying that, and it keeps reminding me of the fucking Offspring.
You're welcome.
No.
You're welcome.
V.
V.
We've already done Voltron, so that's 12.
Wow. Not a whole lot of pickings for 12. Or for V. I'm gonna
12 either.
I'm gonna regret this one. 2.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You don't sound excited, so I was right.
Well, it's kind of telling that the first two are Valkyria Chronicles, so the second one by default has to be Valkyrie Drive, Mermaid.
Yes! Booyah!
Oh my god, this description. Okay. The, quote, beautiful girl, sexy battle action, end quote, anime is set on 5 artificial islands. Momori is a mermaid transferred to one of those islands. When Momori is attacked, a newly transferred girl named Mirai saves her. The enemy doesn't stop, however, and the two are soon cornered. Just when they think all hope is lost, Mirai kisses Momori, and Momori turns into a sword. Mirai then wields the sword and launches a counterattack against their enemies. So it's solely with lesbians.
Exactly, and boobs.
Isn't that just Soul Eater not?
I don't know, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, Sword or Not is basically Soul Eater with lesbians.
Yeah.
I don't know, Patty and the other one, Death's Guns seemed pretty.
Liz and Patty.
No, Not is a spin-off series with different characters.
Yeah, and the main girl has 2 weapons. It's kind of lesbionics right there.
No, she's the weapon. The other two are both monsters.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read that. All I knew was that it just kind of made me feel sad and broken on the inside when I read it. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
The anime is notably quite different from manga, though. Much like regular Soul Eater.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, doesn't regular Soul Eater go to the moon or something weird in the manga?
The manga in Soul Eater, I think the final battle in the series is on the moon. So yeah.
Yeah. The anime ending was abrupt, but still, I can't mentally... I need to stop using this word so much, but I can't mentally grok that particularly well, because,
Grok. That's a
Yeah.
word.
It's a word that you just fill in for the verb that you can't think of, essentially, is what that means. Yeah. So...
Soul Eater anime is just complete and total shit. Right from the first episode, they fuck it up.
Alright, but can we talk about how we need to do Valkyrie Drive Mermaid, everybody?
I don't want to.
3 cheers for guilty crown but lesbian.
No.
See, here's the thing. We don't have 5 people right now, and
I know this. That's why I don't want.
said he would be back, maybe would show up for the end of the episode so we could drag this thing out if you're really desperate.
How?
I don't know. Weasel, would you even veto this if we did drag this out?
That's a no.
That's a no. It's a solid no right there. Okay.
And obviously I won't veto this either.
Okay, so this is the thing we're doing. I almost watched the show once, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. I almost watched the show once because... I don't know.
Boobs.
Yeah, pretty much. So, that was the thing that I almost watched, but then realized I had standards, so I didn't. So, we'll see how this goes.
Boy, there's so much fan art.
Well, I'm only going to watch one episode of this for certain.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for
Well, the thing
listening.
about Valkyrie Draft Mermaid is that it actually made me really feel for the characters, their situation. Like, I wanted to see their situation improve.
I completely lack empathy, so probably not going to be that way for me.
Boom. You just got told.
No, he didn't get told. I'm just saying, from Kenchi's perspective, this is what is going to occur for him.
Sorry, I missed like the last 30 seconds because Laura Bailey tweeted something, and I was very distracted all of a sudden.
Well, it was probably more important than what I just said anyway, so it's fine.
Well, it's a coin flip. Like this time, it was like she's so excited for the film based like the disaster artist like making bad films or something. The last time it was she talking about how she regretted having chili, and the responses was just like Elmo on the toilet doing a dance and shit and shit naturally. Yeah, so it's a coin flip as to whether it was actually worthwhile or not.
Gross.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of the things that Casey's into. So I don't think we should
I
judge
wouldn't
him.
say I'm into it, okay? But the fact that it doesn't really bother me, that I just basically paid attention to her talking about how she's gonna shit herself so hard later, and I'm not bothered in the slightest, tells you just how true my love is for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This show is classy.
Yeah, it is.
So next time we're gonna talk about lesbians and weapons, the anime, and
Who's not down for that?
Sometimes people say anime was a mistake, and sometimes they're willing to fight that. I don't think I'm willing to fight that right now. So, see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Lesbians.